And you know, people were all fucking, you know, whoever knew anything about lower weight classes in boxing were talking about him in the same fucking breath as Ricardo Lopez. But of course, you don't talk about the smaller weights, which is funny since you're a Mexican, right? But you know, that just really tells about your boxing acumen. That you ignore fucking the weights where your fucking heritage does well, right? And focus on a bunch of fucking bullshit consistently, like laughing at Roman Gonzalez because what? He got beat by.
All right. We'll play that in a little bit. We'll play that right now in a little bit. Again, I'm going to have fun with this one. Look, so let's talk about Mexican style. Because, you know, and let's talk about just following my heritage and all this other shit, right? First of all, Sean, right, I don't need a lesson on my heritage. I know a lot about my heritage, right? Also, I've done countless videos, throughout my years on YouTube. Okay, countless videos of Mexican fighters. Countless. Over the years, DStyleBoxing has come on here and talked about all types of Mexican fighters, right? I've come on here and I've done videos about them, Latino fighters, many of which, as you say, right, fight in the lower weight class, right? I've done countless videos about that. Even when I had like my older channel, I did videos about that. You know, so I have been talking about that. Well, what are you talking about? Well, it shows a lot about your, you know, your boxing, you know, knowledge there that you don't follow your own heritage. You know, it's crazy. It's crazy. But what can I say? What can I say? Right? What does that even mean? Like, what does it mean? Okay, that you know, I'm not, you know, following my heritage. Like, what does that have to do with the topic at hand? It has nothing to do with it. Okay, because I wasn't singing the praises of Chocolatito Gonzalez. Okay, because I did talk about Chocolatito Gonzalez. I wasn't singing his praises. Okay, there's a difference. Just because I didn't call him the best pound for pound in the world, I'm not sure. And then really, you're going to compare him to Ricardo Lopez? Let's just say, all right, first of all, you couldn't even say that. You have to refer to a lot of people or some people in boxing circles, you know, compare him to Ricardo Lopez. Like, no. Okay? Talking about people's acumens and like, shut the fuck up. All right? What do you mean? What does that even mean? What does it mean? I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna play it like 2-3 times during the course of this video. By the way, I'm playing that shit. By the way, I forgot to do my intro, but thanks to those joining me live and to those joining me on archive. DStyleBoxing here. Hit the like button. Hit the notification button. If it is in an archive, leave a comment. Tell me what you think. Right? And did I say smash the like button? I believe I did. Make sure you hit the like button. Also, the chat will be open. I'm not sure about go to the chat though. To be honest with you, right? I might check it towards the end of this, but I may get to the chat in a little bit there, but just letting everybody know, right? I know it's Saturday. I know there's a lot of shit going on, but I just want to do this, get this out of the way, right? Now, let's talk about, since you know I've already talked about it. I have the videos up, and I have a series called Boxing Stories, and I have videos I've done in the past about specific fighters. But let's stick to this, all right? Let's go ahead and give you a quick rundown, right? And I've told this story a million times. I've been a boxing fan my whole life, right? The first fight I remember, it might not have been the first fight I ever saw, but the first fight I remember watching was Maldrick Taylor versus Julio Cesar Chavez. The first encounter, right? Which was at 140, right? That's south of 147, by the way, for those that don't know. That was my introduction to boxing. I watch boxing a lot on a lot of the because I live in a border town, right? So most of the boxing that I watched growing up, because I did not come from a, you know, we weren't poor. I'm not going to say poor, but we weren't well off. Like it's not like there was a time where having cable and all that was a luxury, right? You could argue it's still a luxury today, but far more people have it today. Um, so I came from a humble neighborhood. Let's just call it that. Okay, it wasn't terrible, but you know, hey. So I didn't have HBO. I couldn't watch fights on HBO. When I saw Chavez Mal Dictator, I saw that at my uncle's house. Okay, we happened to be there, but I couldn't go to my uncle's house every damn week. Okay, and it was actually a VHS tape the next day on a Sunday, right? I would watch boxing fights presented by whether it was by Tecate, Corona, whatever, Carta Blanca, right? I watched boxing fights on Mexican television. You know, let me tell you something. They weren't showing heavyweight boxing on Mexican TV. Okay, they weren't showing light heavyweights or any of that. It was a lot of the lighter weights. Okay, I grew up a lot watching Maromero Pais. All right, and I would go with my grandfather to this place on Fridays where he would buy the fruits. It was like a guy that had like a little stand there, and he had like a little TV with a little antenna, and we would stay there and watch boxing at times, right? But anyway, um, even as I grew older, when I was in my early 20s, I would still go with my grandfather and watch some of the fights there with him. You know what happens when you open your mouth when you don't know somebody and you just throw out an accusation, right? You know what happens when you're so blinded by your obsession, and that's what it is, with certain people, right? That when you perceive someone defending them or in any way, shape, or form, you become so blinded with this obsession, you start saying stupid things. Now, because I've watched so much quote unquote Mexican boxing and quote unquote lower weight boxing, because of that, I have a big appreciation for it. But it doesn't mean I crown every single little dude I see, though. That's not what that means. And I don't care how high anybody is on Chocolatito Gonzalez. He is no Ricardo Lopez. I could tell you that right now. And while he wasn't in that low of weight classes, my favorite fighter of all time, and this is well known, is Eric Morales. I grew up watching Eric Morales and Oscar De La Hoya. All right? I've done videos talking about the Barrera Morales trilogy. I've done videos talking about Morales' fights against guys like Junior Jones. I've done countless videos talking about guys in the lower weight classes. God damn, you're looking more and more stupid, aren't you? I mean, holy shit. Especially when I have the video evidence of this stuff. And because I've been watching so much boxing and quote unquote Mexican boxing and lower weight boxing, whatever the hell you want to call it, because I've been doing because it was a passion of mine. All right. The weekend, my grandfather was in hospice. All right, and I would go to his house to watch some boxing fights with him. I put the damn satellite outside his room so we could watch boxing fights. All right, so fuck you. You don't know me, bro. All right. So let me say this. Because, and the point I keep trying to make, because I've been watching so much boxing and because I know about so many Mexican greats, because of that, I know that this whole Mexican style narrative that's spewed out here is a bunch of horse shit. It's a stereotypical bullshit, okay, style that has been put out there, and it was started by HBO and guys like Larry Merchant with a Take Two to Land One on their legendary night specials. Chavez was not getting hit twice by Mal Dictator to land one by design, okay? Mal Dictator was hitting him twice, right? Mal Dictator was just fucking fast. He wasn't trying to get hit twice to get one punch in. He never had that strategy in his life. Now I could go with the horse's mouth because I've heard Julio Cesar Chavez talk about that fight. And by the way, I'm done with Sean Newman. That's it. I'm not right. But by the way, let's do this. Let's do this again. Ready? All right. Let's play this shit.
Fucking, whoever knew anything about lower weight classes in boxing, we're talking about him in the same fucking breath as Ricardo Lopez. But of course, you don't talk about the smaller weights, which is funny since you're a Mexican, right? But, that just really tells about your boxing acumen, that you ignore fucking the weights where your fucking heritage does well, right? And focus on...
And focus on what, Sean?
A bunch of fucking bullshit consistently. Like laughing at Roman Gonzalez because...
It tells me that you wanted to say something else, Sean. and bullshit. Yeah. You should have finished that sentence, Sean. Right? You should have finished that sentence. That's what I think you should have done. First of all, I have no idea why you're telling another grown man what weight divisions he has to watch. Okay. Second of all, if you're going to accuse somebody of not watching the lower weight classes, at least accuse somebody that, because there's plenty of people out here that admit they don't watch the lower weight classes. Now, not like you, Sean. I don't take it personal. Okay. Not like you, Sean. I don't get mad. Oh my God, you don't watch the lower weight classes. You're not a real boxing fan. All right. Not like you. I don't do that. Right. I don't think there's an agenda because they don't like watching the lower weight classes, and I don't think any of that. But you see, I grew up as a boxing fan. Yes, I watched a lot of the lower weight classes. Okay, I had to. Growing up, I had to. HBO wasn't putting any fights of any lower weight class guys until Naseem Hamed came out. By the way, I've talked about that. I've done videos about how appreciation, isn't it ironic? DStyleBoxing has actually been one of the people constantly talking about pound for pound and how important pound for pound has been for boxing history, and how the appreciation of the lower weight classes came about because of pound for pound, right? I've done videos on the rise of Naseem Hamed, okay, and how that helped, fighters get attention and all that. This is insane. But no, we had an individual here, folks. We had an individual, that, decided, hey, I'm just going to say something stupid with no proof. You got caught red-handed, lying. But anyway, so because I'm Mexican, I could only watch the lower weight class, apparently. Okay, because that's where my quote-unquote heritage does well, right? Well, first of all, Sean, right? First of all, I'm American, right? I was born in the United States of America. All right, I am Mexican American. Right, I am proud of my Mexican heritage. Right, but I find it funny how when it comes to me, notice this. When it comes to DStyle, hey, you're Mexican. You should be following the Mexicans. Go watch them in the lower weight classes. It's surprising that you don't. Well, when it comes to black channels that follow black fighters and support black fighters, no, that's an agenda. That's bias. You're telling me to do what you claim others are doing. And that's why you can't stop making videos about them. And the fact that you can't see that is astonishing to me. Honestly, it's astonishing. I can't believe it. The term "I cannot believe it" is overused. I can't believe it in the same fucking video. Anyway, let's play it again. We're going to play this shit again. Damn, Sean, you opened your mouth, bruh. You opened it bad, man. I'm just telling you right now. You barked up the wrong tree, bro.
Oh, and people were all fucking, whoever knew anything about lower weight classes in boxing, we're talking about him in the same fucking breath as Ricardo Lopez. But of course, you don't talk about the smaller weights, which is funny since you're a Mexican, right? But, that just really tells about your boxing acumen, that you ignore fucking the weights where your fucking heritage does well.
Right. Sean, if you're trying to get the D-Style is a traitor to his race crowd. If you're trying to get that crowd, there's only one problem, Sean. There's only one problem. Okay, here's the problem. You're ready for it? I'm going to read one of your comments. Okay? Let me bring this shit up. Where's this shit at? Pussy boy DStyleBoxing was talking too much shit. What happened? His pussy boy boyfriend ran for his life against Golovkin. DStyleBoxing is a Give Nilla Tribe Pride fanboy faggot. This is the type of intelligence that's in your fucking comment section. All right? And I know you got a little Hawker Mustang over there making dumb comparisons. Another idiot that didn't get the point of my video. I was making fun of the fact that you made a murderous row, and after you made that murderous row, all the guys started losing. What is it that you don't get about that? But no. We're okay. Let's listen to it again. Holy shit. This is a gem. I love this. Let's play it again.
And people were all fucking, whoever knew anything about lower weight classes in boxing, we're talking about him in the same fucking breath as Ricardo Lopez.
First of all, I want to hear names. Who are the people that, quote unquote, know what they're talking about that put Roman Gonzalez in the same breath as Ricardo Lopez? Who are these people? I want to know their names. That's number one. Okay? These people. Them. Like, fuck you.
But of course, you don't talk about the smaller weights, which is funny since you're a Mexican. Right.
You know what's funny, Sean? Now that I think about it, when I made a video saying I thought Quadras beat Roman Gonzalez, you came out and then what's you in my comment section saying? Oh, you're just saying that because you hate I was talking about the fight. I watched the fight. In fact, before the Quadras fight with Roman Gonzalez, when everybody was saying, "Oh, Roman Gonzalez, he's the best pound for pound. He's gonna destroy him," like all this shit. All right. When there were several people, especially like in the boxing media, these experts that were comparing him to Ricardo Lopez, and I said, I think Quadras is going to beat him, and I believe he did. I believe that Chocolatito lost that fight. But no, what did Sean Ewan do? The same guy that claims that I'm Mexican. Look at this logic. I'm Mexican, and well, actually, let's finish listening to it. He's about to say it, so.
But that just really tells about your boxing acumen, that you ignore fucking the weights where your fucking heritage does well.
So which one is it then? Am I only going for did I only say Quadras won because I'm a Mexican fanboy? Or am I ignoring the lower weight classes? I'm ignoring my own and not following my heritage. Which one is it? Your own comment sections can't make up their fucking mind. Some of them are saying I'm just a Canelo fanboy, which is hilarious. Which is fucking hilarious. But you don't got that crowd right now, Sean. This is where your miscalculation's happening here. Okay? Your miscalculation is that you don't have the the Canelo crowd. You don't got that crowd, Sean. They're not rolling with you. And then you also said in that same dumb video, you're like, you don't want to give Gennady Golovkin this credit for. I said the fight was a draw the first time I watched it. The second time I watched it, I scored it 1 round for Gennady Golovkin. Again, just like, how stupid can you be? This is insane. This is absolutely insane. You're Mexican. Why aren't you watching? Like, this is insane. This is crazy, right? You're telling other channels that they're being ignorant and all this because they only follow weight classes. Your words, by the way, okay? That they only follow weight classes that their own are fighting in, and that makes them biased and all that shit. But you're telling me that I need to be watching the lower weight classes. That's where my heritage does well. You need to get your shit together, Sean. All right? Now notice this, Mr. It's not about race with me. I never, ever, while I was clowning you, brought up the fact that you're white. Okay? I didn't do any dog jokes on you or anything like that. That would have been too easy for me, right? I stuck to boxing, and I stuck to the horrendous record that your murderous row had after you make the fucking list. That's it. That's what the video was about. That's literally all it was. And then it turned to D-Style doesn't watch the lower weight classes. D-Style doesn't want to give Gennady Golovkin any credit. This is the stupidest shit I've ever heard in my life. He said DStyleBoxing gave Luis Ortiz, was pumping up with Luis Ortiz with everybody else, quote unquote. Can somebody please tell me when I was pumping up Luis Ortiz? Anyway, I want to move on from that. This is great, but the whole Mexican style thing, all right? And this is actually, you know, a good gateway to that, okay? In fact, let's listen to it one more time before I continue. This is great, all right? Let's listen to this one more time.
We're talking about him in the same fucking breath as Ricardo Lopez. But of course, you don't talk about the smaller weights, which is funny since you're a Mexican, right? But, you know, that just really tells about your boxing acumen, that you ignore fucking the weights where you're fucking...
Right. The way where my heritage does well. Okay. Look, man. Let me... enough of this clown, right? So that and, you know, other shit out there, right? Like Mexican style and all this shit. Let me tell you something, okay? And let me make this very clear. Coming forward, taking a lot of punishment, right, is not Mexican style. All right? And there's people out there that say that in a derogatory way. And there's people out there that say that like in a praising way. Oh, I love Mexicans. They don't care. They just come forward and take a lot of punishment. That's what I love. Like no. Well, you could love it all you want, but that's not Mexican style. All right? There's many styles, okay, in Mexico, right? The only thing close to Mexican style is the heritage and the pride that most of the fighters carry with them, you know, that come from Mexico, right? And the support that they garner from the Mexican fight fan, even though that's not evenly distributed all the time, right? But overall, it's a boxing nation, right? So spare me comparing Chocolatito to Ricardo Lopez. The fuck out of here, right? He threw the name Ricardo Lopez. Like, if I don't know who he is, like if I haven't done videos about him or some shit, just throwing that name out. Like I'm gonna be impressed with the name or something. Like, oh my God, he said Ricardo Lopez. Some people were, you know, putting him in the same breath as, like, get the fuck out of here, right? And second, I never said that Chocolatito. I don't care what anybody else said. All right. If somebody said that Chocolatito's trash, you take that up with him, right? Aren't you the guy that always says, well, that's their opinion? Everybody has a right to their opinion, okay? All those white supremacist videos PP made, it's his opinion. It's only his opinion, you know? Don't you have any fucking pride, bro? Okay, that motherfucker was calling you a cuck in your own fucking comment section because you said a fight was close between a black guy and a white guy, right? And you still didn't do videos responding to him. Okay, don't you have any fucking pride, bro? All right? Jesus fucking Christ. But look, yes, that's a true story, right? It's opinion. Well, if somebody thinks that he's trash, that's your opinion. Like you say, it's your opinion. Right? Let them have their own fucking opinion then. But DStyleBoxing doesn't agree with that. I think Chocolatito was a good fighter. He was a good fighter, all right? But he was never the best pound for pound, in my opinion, all right? Never was he the best pound for pound. And you throwing the word fact around. Let me give you an example of a fact, Sean, okay? You ready? Crawford is the undisputed champion at 140. That's a fact. Okay? That's not an opinion. You saying that Gennady Golovkin is number one pound for pound, or actually the way you word it, A lot of people have Gennady Golovkin #1 pound for pound. That's just a fact. Well, the fact that some people are putting on #1 pound for pound might be the fact, but him being #1 pound for pound isn't a fact. That's an opinion, right? You're not as smart as you think. Okay, you don't think I caught that or what? But sometimes I wonder if, like, when you say it, because it's funny, because when you brought up the fact that I'm Mexican, like, you quickly change the subject. Like, it's funny how quickly you change the subject. Oh, and that's why you start, you don't follow, like, your own, and it's just funny because, you just laugh, and then you just change the subject. It's fucking hilarious how you just kind of got away from it, right? It's kind of funny, I'm just saying. Anyway, Mexican style, quote unquote, is a bunch of bullshit. Okay, all right. Yes, I said it. Okay, it's some stereotypical bullshit. Okay, Gennady Golovkin going out here saying that he's Mexican style and blah 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 blah. But let me tell you something, man. It ain't working now because a lot of Mexicans are rolling with Canelo. I'm just telling you that right now, right? It's just I'm just telling you that. So that crowd isn't with you right now. You lost that crowd. All right? Like you're having some trouble there, right? If you weren't a hypocritical ass, you wouldn't have to worry about strategizing, how to garner support and all that. You wouldn't have to worry about all that, right? You would just be yourself and talk, But I don't know, Sean. Something tells me that when you're yourself, it doesn't quite come out so good. All right? So let me get this straight. I want you, like, let's elaborate. Why did he bring up the fact that I'm Mexican, and why did he lie and say that I don't watch the lower weight classes? All right, and then why did he follow that up with, and that's just strange because that's where your heritage does well, right? I just find that extremely ironic when all you've been doing is complaining about a certain group of people that are supporting their own. That's just the irony of it. This is DStyleBoxing. Hey, keep it boxing. I'm out.